Hello, everybody. Welcome back for more War of Civilization Start Over. In last episode, we saw a major war break out in Europe with two South American and two Asian slash Oceanic countries getting involved financially. Now we're gonna see how this war plays out fully. We're going to continue down here with Yugoslavia being invaded by Germany and Romania also being invaded by them. The front line will look like this before, Romania is able to push back and Yugoslavia begins push back but doesn't really get that far. Now, over here, Poland's gonna be able to push Finland out of this area of their country. What does this do here? With the help of, Ukraine and Caucasia, they're able to push Finland back that far. But Finland's able to, re-enter a little bit. And even they decide to send some troops over here into Germany and to start taking, the Lithuanian area. They take two cities, but they don't go that much farther. Now, for South America, how is the other countries fighting this war? Because here's the thing. The countries that are involved in this war in South America, that are involved in this war in South America are the only two fascist countries. So, what does Star Alliance think about this? Because remember, the Star Alliance, the two Imperialist Alliance members are also post-Star Alliance. So what's gonna happen here? First, South America will vote kick them out of the Star Alliance. And oh goodness. The Star Alliance declares war on Guyana and Peru. And this kind of snowballs into a larger conflict because the Checkmark Alliance joins the war on the side of the democratic countries in Europe and in South America. And this has basically evolved into a full-on, World War at this point. And these two countries, they're strong, but they have, two entire continents basically fighting them. So, Venezuela will be making the first move in this continent by invading into Guinea and taking all this land that's miscolored. Wait, no, it's not miscolored. It's yours. But you don't really mind, right? Yeah, they don't mind. They also secure these islands. New York's letting them do this part. They don't really care. But one thing that I know isn't supposed to be a thing is that. But yeah, Venezuela is doing a good job already inside Guyana. And they take 3 major cities. They get about here until they start seeing resistance from Guyana. And yeah, they're able to push Venezuela back to just these 2 cities in this area. So, yeah. But over here, Panama is gonna actually see quite a bit of success when they cross into Peru and take this city, crossing through here, taking that city, linking up this front line, and then even pushing now and taking this city really fast. So, yeah. South America's now in basically a total war. Not like terms of like who's in, like who's fighting, like in terms of citizens, but in terms of countries. As Ecuador starts pushing into Peru, but Peru kind of expected them to start there, and oh goodness, yeah. Peru might have put all their military down here. Like, not the entire military, but a huge portion of the military. Because they assumed that these two would attack from the north first. And they were actually quite right. Like, Peru's pretty smart about this move. And they are even able to push back Ecuador back to the Ecuador's border, especially up here where their capital is not capital. And yeah, they enter into Ecuador over here and actually do pretty decently up here too. And they even start pushing Panama back a bit. They don't get any of these cities back, but because how weird the border is here, they're able to make entrance into Panama, even push back a little bit more, like onto the outskirts of both these cities over here, and then this city over here. And they start entering into Panama because Panama might be large, but they're not as powerful as these two countries are. Now, down south is actually gonna be a different story, and that's because what's this country's name? Is this Paraguay? No, that's Bolivia. Bolivia pushes in and takes this city, and pushes up and takes this city, and pushes in here and taking that city. So Bolivia is helping, like, jump, Peru. The board plan for, South America is pretty easy to understand once I draw it out. These three countries are gonna push into Peru like this. But Ecuador has kind of failed here, so now they're fighting defensively over here. While Brazil, Venezuela, and Paraguay will help over here against Guyana. And these two are actually gonna be sending troops from their continent all the way up to Europe to help out these four here. And the Checkmark Alliance is just full sending troops down to this front line and over to Europe. So the Americas are gonna make huge impact on this war. Now, how are the imperialist nations feeling about this? They're like, okay, so now we're against basically like a third of the world, fourth of the world? Yeah, more so fourth of the world. And they're like, okay, we need more allies. We need to incentivize some countries to join on our side. There might not be other imperialist powers, but we do know there's some expansionist powers. So they will send an offer out to another country, one that could potentially swing this war into the imperialist favor. And that country is France. Out of nowhere, France officially joins this war on the side of the imperialist nations. And why are they? Well, they just want land. They are promised some land over here, like mainly up here in the Baltic Sea. So France will happily take that offer. But this kind of triggers something else happen. All four of France's neighbors officially form a coalition against France. This includes Dutchland, Italy, Andorra, and England. And why are they doing this? Well, they aren't helping out the Trapezoid team because they don't really like Trapezoids. But they don't want France getting them involved in a whole world war. So these four are gonna jump France together. So yeah, France might have done a big oopsie, join this war on the side of Finland. Because Finland offered them land and they're greedy. So the English will send troops through Brittany, and I think that would be Normandy. The Dutch will invade, and I think this would be Paris, this timeline, but not their capital. But though the Dutch will send their troops in through here and start rapidly taking over French land, because the Dutch are kind of powerful. Still, like, it's not, like, really update on the, like, power rankings, but the Dutch, well, China's not even number one anymore because they collapsed. In fact, let me edit this a bit. So this is what the updated power rankings currently will look like. Since Vancouver's been very prosperous over here, they're number one, Dutch number two, France number three, Germany number 4, 5 Finland, 6 Guyana, 7 Tunisia, 8 Saudi Arabia, which is, yeah, pretty big. Mexico at number 9 and Algeria at number 10. So the Dutch are stronger than France. France is stronger than Italy, Andorra, and England. And this will be primarily shown against Andorra, because they want to get the weakest countries out of the way first. So for the second time in history, France will invade Andorra, and they will take 2 major cities. And then Catalonia and Iberia decide to join the coalition against France, which immediately causes France's front line to start to crumble, because these two might have actually already had their troops at the border, like, thinking something like this would happen. So Catalonian, Iberian, and Andorran troops will start pushing France back. France is able to keep hold over here. Now against Italy, here's the sad truth. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Italy's getting invaded, and their capital is taken. Not like that. It's more like this, and the Dutch will be given over this area to occupy, but France will unfortunately take all of Italy pretty fast, because Italy was just recently reformed and they're kind of weak, but the Dutch are able to push France out over here, and not like that, like this. They're able to retake capital, but yeah, now that the Dutch are over here, France will have a little better time here, because they kind of did this to like distract the Dutch. Now the English, sadly, like this offensive was pretty good, but yeah, France is strong. Now there's gonna be whole naval war in this area with the French having all of this. Like, I don't know what happened here. I think we haven't had naval war in Europe since World War III. So yeah, the naval waters looking like this currently, with the Dutch here. Like, it's basically these two fight against France here. France is able to gain some waters here and even reach England. And England in this timeline's pretty weak. So yeah, when France makes a landing, they are able quickly to take two cities and even come up here in like the Cornwall region, I think, or is this the Welsh region? And they take this part of England, and yeah, France is starting to be up this like little coalition here. They're even able to successfully push back Dutch troops here, but the Dutch hold a front line here and actually start to gain some more land in the Italian peninsula, split it way it used to be before Italy was its own country. Now, what's going on over here? Well, Yugoslavia wants to help out France over in the Italian peninsula, but since they're technically not officially, like, the Dutch aren't officially involved in this, like, whole global war, they're gonna be told, don't you dare, because if the Dutch get involved, we will lose. So, yeah. Yugoslavia's gonna be like, but they have more to worry about because, yeah, Germany's invading them pretty hard. And Romania's starting to crumble too. But Finland, it was a good effort by Poland and Caucasia and Ukraine, because Finland is able to break through the front line again and push back into Poland. They even entered into Ukraine, and they even sent some troops into Caucasia over here with the help of Kazakhstan. And yeah, Finland's starting to win this war, especially up here, because they're able to make a new front line in here against Poland. And Poland's starting to like lose very bad. Like a third of their country's already gone. They even lose one, two more major cities. So they're back to this area. But sadly, it's about to get worse for Poland. Because two major rebellions will pop up in Poland. Czechian rebellion, I think this would be like where Czechia is in real life. And Belarus rebellion. Belarus notably had like all the way up here too. But yeah, these two rebellions pop out because they kind of don't like being under Polish rule. And yeah, Poland's basically lost cause at this point as the two rebellions start finishing the job with the help of Finland. And we see our first country on the blue side to crumble and fall apart. And Finland, thanks to like the help from these rebellions, they will actually hand over some occupation to them. So this Belarus rebellion will get these two states under their like control. So it'll look a little bit like this. Let's see. No. Uh-oh. Let's see. So Belarus will occupy these two states, and Czechia will be able to occupy these, and Finland will occupy the rest, and that officially makes Poland out of this war. What color should I use? I'm gonna use just standard yellow. Actually, yeah, that color. Because I can't use white because the coalition over here. So yeah, Poland's officially out of this war. And now it's just Germany, Ukraine, and Caucasia left in the Trapezoid Alliance, and Ukraine's not looking good. They still have like American troops coming as well. Should note that. What's going on here? What layer are you on? Why is this not working? Why is this different? What is going on? Oh, there we go. So yeah, Ukraine's starting to fall as well to Polish influence. Well, mainly troops. And they even get like launch a staging, like not launch staging ground, use Belarus as staging ground. And Romania will swoop in real quick and claim some land, and they will take the Crimean Peninsula. And yeah, so Ukraine's out of this war now. And the Trapezoid Alliance is starting to get a little scared because it's just Germany and Caucasia in this war. But Germany is still confident because they are actually able to push Finland out of the country. They will respect these two rebellions. Because, yeah, they don't want, like, two more sides fight. So they will instead start help liberate Russia. Well, artificially making Russia part of the Trapezoid Alliance. So yeah, let's... Oh, I meant to copy it. So yeah, that's kind of how it looks like now. And Germany's actually going to be able to recover a lot of Russia's lands. They even take back all of the Estonian lands. And they take quite a bit of this area back. Finland is able to push them back a little bit, but not a lot. And now back over to the Americas. How is it going here? Well, troops from North America have just started arriving en masse here. And yeah, Panama is like fully liberated. They weren't really occupied. And yeah, Panama's able to start pushing in to Peru some more, thanks to a lot of North Americans. Because Vancouver's idea was these two first. Like, these two countries. What's going on? Why is this being like this? These two countries first. France second. And Finland third. They still have quite a bit of troops on the front lines, like here. They aren't helping England because they see that as a lost cause. They have a lot of troops here. And they did send some troops over here, Germany, since they are able to actually use these other North American countries to send their military through. They send their military through this area, and they land in Denmark, well, the Danish peninsula more so. So that's how Vancouver's troops are like being allocated. They're basically just focusing here first. And that focus will actually allow Ecuador to start pushing Peru's troops out. And they even get all of this back. But Peru holds on here. But they aren't really that worried about it. Because now then Ecuador and Panama just decide a plan. And that plan's gonna go like this. Ecuador is gonna push to here. And Panama's gonna push here. Then they're gonna encircle the capital city and take it out. So Ecuador will actually be able to launch a successful invasion over here. And they start to form the encirclement. Panama will do much of the same. And they will actually link up with Ecuador over here. And together, they will take out the capital city of Peru. At this point, Peru's gonna call all these troops back to defend the motherland, but it's not gonna go well. It's kind of a rough, like, retreat, because Ecuador's able to push in, and now with Bolivia pushing in, it's starting to look like GG's for Peru. And yeah, it's actually looking pretty bad for them. Especially with Panama now making like a huge spearhead to capture this city. And at this point, Peru's gonna just surrender. Because they want to see if they can at least still exist. and this will actually piss off Guyana quite a bit, but they're gonna have a new issue to deal with, because when Peru surrenders, Panama will now launch an invasion into Guyana, which allows Venezuela to also push deep into Guyana, taking this whole area. And Bolivia will start launching their invasion up here with the help of Brazil, which will also be launching an invasion into Guyana. And now Guyana's dealing with like a gigantic front line, and it's not gonna go well with Bolivia taking a major city, Brazil taking this city, and starting to threaten this city over here. And Panama will start making a spear towards the capital to hopefully meet up with Venezuelan troops here to start sieging the capital. The capital will actually be fully encircled, but not taken. Like, they have very little land left around the capital, but this capital will now be sieged, and it's gonna be a pretty bloody battle. It's gonna be this world's equivalent to, like, the battle for Stalingrad in real life. Yeah. Which will actually, though, Bolivia and Brazil make a few more advances, take another major city, and Bolivia's goal is just do this. Brazil's goal is do, like, take all of this area. Panama's gonna focus on the siege, also try to take this. And Venezuela's solely relying on the siege. Now, because South America seems to have this under control, Vancouver will start, like, pulling out some troops, like, not all the troops from South America, and they will send them abroad to help out, not the English, but send them abroad to help out both the Dutch and the Germans. I almost said the Danish. But that'll do it for this episode. And then next episode we will continue World War V.